everyone is joining meeting. So let people join and then we'll start the session. Meanwhile, everyone be prepared with your pen and paper. Okay. So some derivation kind of things will be there. So all of you keep your pen and paper ready with you. So good afternoon, all my dear students. In the last class, we have discussed about electrochemical grinding process. Before that, we have come across the material removal mechanism of ECM. We have discussed like how atom by atom or by using electrochemical dissolution process, the atoms are getting dissociated and material removal is getting or is taking place. In today's class, we are going to focus on two major parts. Those are the chemical reaction which takes place in ECM, and another one thing which we are going to study is about material removal rate equation, or we have to find out the derivation of MRR in ECM. So initially, once again, I am going to discuss about the material removal process, and then what kind of chemical reactions are taking place in ECM process, and then we will discuss about the MRR models. So number one, as I have discussed, in case of ECM, we will have a container, and in this container we have to place anode, which is nothing but work or workpiece, and we are also placing a cathode, which is a tool. And as I have discussed, the workpiece is connected with the positive terminal of a DC power source, and the tool is connected with the negative terminal of a DC power source. Let us consider that we have used electrolyte, which is NaCl in this case. We have used NaCl electrolyte in this case. We have used. Okay. And also consider the workpiece is made of a ferrous material. Okay. Workpiece is made of ferrous material. Okay. Now, we can see once we have connected the work with the positive terminal and the tool with the negative terminal, because of the presence of electrolyte, the current will start flowing in this direction, or electrons will get removed and it will be attracted towards the workpiece. Already I have discussed in this case. And I said that we follow Faraday's law of electrolysis. We consider the Faraday's law of electrolysis in this case. And I said two things are possible. Okay, that is electroplating, and another one thing is dissolution. In case of, I'll just write it down. If we are going to do electroplating, in this case, in electroplating, if we are doing, then we will have a deposition of ions. And if we are going to go for going for this electrolysis, where we need to remove material or metal, in this case we will have dissolution. Okay, this thing in the last class also, previously also, we have discussed. Okay, now let us see how the chemical reaction will take place. So from the tool, electrons or E minus ions will start getting eroded. Okay, E minus will start getting eroded. Okay, and due to the presence of NaCl, due to the presence of NaCl over here, Na plus and Cl minus ions will be formed or will be present in the electrolyte. So I am writing Cl minus ions somewhere here we have Cl minus ion. Maybe here also we have got Cl minus ion. Maybe some other places also we have. Okay, and you know, as I said, that some material will get eroded from the workpiece. Okay, so generally it will be Na plus, or sorry, not Na, Fe, ferrous material. So it will be Fe plus plus ion. Here also Fe plus plus ions will come out. Okay, here also Fe plus plus ions will come out. So many will be there. Okay, now what happens in this solution? We will have water also present. With that we are having NaCl. So because of that we will have H plus ion and OH minus ion also we will have many. So these are few ions which we are going to have. Okay. Now what will happen? This electrons and H plus ion. So both together, what will happen? This will make hydrogen gas, and that will be evaporated. Okay. So number one equation which I am going to write, that NaCl, that is forming Na plus and Cl minus ion. Then I said this one also, that electron and hydrogen both together, okay, will make hydrogen gas, and hydrogen gas will get evaporated from here. Okay, so here second equation I am writing uh, uh, H plus plus E minus, which will form H2 and will evaporate, as it is very light in weight. And where it will happen? It will happen in the cathode. Because in the cathode only, from cathode only electrons, from the cathode only electrons will come out. Okay, as current will flow in this direction, that means in this direction the electrons will start flowing. Okay, so in the cathode only, so workpiece is anode, and tool is cathode. Fine. So this will happen. Next, as I said, H2O will be present. So H2O, actually before that only it will come. H2O only will make H plus ion and OH minus ion. So from there only H plus will come to cathode and it will form reaction to make this hydrogen gas. Okay. Next, so these are few is happening. So cathode is over. Now we will get Fe plus plus ion. Okay, as we are using some ferrous material as the workpiece, so that also will take electrons and then will form some deposition. Okay, or it will get deposited in the bottom side of this tank. Okay, clear. So that is one more thing. So this will happen where? It will happen in anode. Clear. Now next is what? We are having this Na plus ion also. Okay, this Na plus also we will have. So what reaction it will make? So Na plus, and here we will have OH minus ion in the from the water. So with OH minus ion, it will make NaOH. So that also will get deposited at the bottom of the tank. Okay. So this is not over. This OH minus ions once again will make some reaction with Fe plus plus ions. So Fe plus plus ion plus OH minus ion together will make FeOH whole 2. So that also will get deposited. So this one, this one, this one. Okay. So those things will, and also here some ferrous materials. So those will get deposited and will form slug. Okay, will form slug or slugs. Fine. So this is about the chemical reaction which is taking place in during the ECM process. Okay, I hope you people understood about the chemical reaction part. Now we will start discussing about material removal process. Now the interesting thing is, if we are going to find out the efficiency of any ECM process, then we have to go to find out the material removal rate. So efficiency of machining is what? How much material or how much volume of material is getting removed in particular time during ECM process. So we will have a look on it. Okay. Okay. Material removal rate we are going to find out for ECM. Now, as I said, why we are going to find out MRR? In order to find out efficiency. Okay. Now, what is the formula of MRR in general? Or what do you know about material removal rate? Material removal rate or MRR is nothing but the volume of material removed divided by the time which is taken in order to remove that amount of that volume of material. Okay. Now, in order to find out this, we have to depend on Faraday's law of electrolysis. Okay. So we have to depend on Faraday's laws or Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Okay. Now, what Faraday said, or do we have only single law, or there are multiple laws? Okay. So there are two laws of Faraday's which will be removing, or which will be influencing factor or working as the influencing factor to find out the material removal rate. Okay. So the law number one, first law. So what the first law states, that the amount of electrochemical dissolution or deposition is directly proportional to the amount of charge passed through the electrochemical cell. So I'll just write down, better you people also write. Okay. So first law states that the amount of electrochemical dissolution or deposition is directly proportional to the amount of charge passed through the electrochemical cell. Which, okay, so this is the law of Faraday, or Faraday's law, first law. Okay, that means the battery which we are going to use in the CCM process, that will play a significant role. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of it? We can write the amount of material. Say we are going to remove m amount of material, or the mass of the material is m, and that must be directly proportional to the charge q which is passed through the electrochemical cell. Okay, so let us consider that this is equation number 1. Okay, this is equation number 1. Next, second, the second law. Okay, so what is the, so once again, when I write down this, m is the mass of the material which is dissolved or deposited, but in this case we are not doing electroplating operation, so there is no meaning of deposition, so material will be dissoluted. Okay, clear, right? You can note down. So in this case, m is nothing but the mass of the material which is dissolved. Okay, and q is the amount of charge passed through the electrochemical cell. Okay, now coming to the second law. So what is the second law? It states that the amount of material deposited or dissolved further depends on electrochemical equivalence Remember, electrochemical equivalence of the material, that is again the ratio of atomic weight and valency. So let me write it down. So the second law states that the amount of material deposited or dissolved okay is dependent on electrochemical equivalence. Okay, what I said, electrochemical equivalence, which is represented by ECE. Okay, ECE of the material of the material, that is again the ratio of the atomic weight and valency. So everyone note down it. Everyone note it down. Okay. Right. So what is the meaning of it? The meaning of it is M, once again, is direct proportional to the ECE. That means electrochemical equivalence. Okay. So what is the meaning of ECE? ECE is the ratio between the atomic weight, which is represented by A, and valency. Okay, if we are going for ferrous material, so what is the valency? If we are going for copper, then what is the valency of it? Okay, so it will depend on that. Right now, we wrote M is equivalent to ECE. Okay, so we can, and ECE is equal to A by V. So what we can write? We can write M is equivalent to A by V. Okay, and that is nothing but equation number 2. Okay, this is equation number 2. Remember it. Okay, now this is the thing. Fine. Now we had this equation number 1, which is M is equivalent to Q, and we wrote M is equivalent to A by V also. So from equation number 1 and 2, 1 and 2, can we write that M is equivalent to Q A divided by V? We had a Q over here, and here we have M is equivalent to A by V. So combining both these two equations, we can easily write M is equivalent to Q into A by V. So remember it. Okay, this is our equation number 3. Fine, but will it give everything to us? Here, how can you find out this value Q? How can you find out Q value? This is something which is disturbing. we know, or we can easily calculate how much current we are passing through a circuit. We can also calculate how much resistance we are getting in a circuit. Even we can find out how much voltage you are applying through a circuit. Okay, so this is possible. Can we convert this charge into current or voltage or something which is measurable or which we can measure? Let us have a look. Okay, so we found what? We found that M is equivalent to Q into A by V. Okay, and we have to somehow do something with this Q terminology. Okay, or Q term. Now, if we have a circuit with us, okay, this is positive terminal, this is negative terminal, this is connected with the tool, and this is connected with the workpiece. Already we have seen that. Okay, so if we are, and this is completed in some circuit through the presence of electrolytes. Now, what will happen? As this is connected with the positive terminal, some current will start passing through this in this direction, and we can measure how much current is passing through this. Say this is I, or I amount of current we are passing. Okay, and we know it. I is equal to Q by T. Okay, or the current which is passing through a circuit is nothing but the amount of charge, okay, which is passing in a particular time. Okay, so because of that, from that we can find out Q is equal to I into T. Okay, so from here we can find out Q is equal to I into T. Now, in this equation, now M, if we put the value of Q, we'll get M is equivalent to I into T into A by valency, which is V. Okay, and this equation we have to remember. Give it equation number 4. Okay, clear? Now, somehow we need to uh, do something with this equivalent term. As these two laws are Faraday's law, that's why in order to remove this equivalent symbol, we are going to include something called Faraday's constant. Okay, so from here we will write, if we are going to give equal sign, so we have to multiply with some constant. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will multiply it with this 1 by f. We are going to multiply, and where f is nothing but Faraday's constant. Faraday's constant. Okay, so what is the value of it? The value of f is nothing but 965,000 coulombs. We have already studied it. Okay, so 965,000 coulombs. So that you have to keep. Okay. Now, in the beginning itself, I said you something. We have to, our final goal or ultimate goal is to calculate MRR. And what is MRR? MRR is the ratio between volume and time, or it is the volume per unit time. Okay. Now, few more things also we know that. So I'll write here once again that MRR is equal to the volume of material which will be removed divided by time, V by T. Okay. And one thing is known that rho or density is equal to M by V. Okay. Or we can write from here the volume V is equal to, well, let's write this volume. V is equal to M by rho. Okay. So here we will put M by rho. Okay. So finally, MRR will become equal to M by rho divided by T. Okay. So here in place of V, we have put this value, and then we have found MRR is equal to M by rho divided by T. Okay. So further, if we calculate, what we will get? We already have calculated the value of M. What is this? M is this ITA divided by F into V. Okay. So in place of M, what we are going to write? We are going to write ITA divided by F into V. Okay. Clear. Now, here what else we have? We have got rho and time. We have got rho and time. So, rho will also come down, and this also is here in the denominator. So, we will have rho t. And you can find from here that we are having two t terms. So, finally, we will get MRR is equal to I into A divided by F into V into rho. So this will be our final calculation. Okay. So this will be our final calculation or final MRR of ECM. Okay. I hope everyone understood. Okay. Clear. So where we found I is the current which is passing through the circuit. Okay. And then A is nothing but, we have already found out what is A. So from here we found out A is nothing but the atomic weight. Okay. And then we found out here what is F. F is nothing but the Faraday's constant, which is equal to 965,000 coulombs. Okay. Then V, what is V? V is nothing but the valency. Okay. And then what is rho? Rho is nothing but the density. Okay. So you should not mix these two things. Capital V, okay, and it is small v. Small v we are representing by valency, atomic weight. Okay, clear? Rho is density. Okay, F is Faraday's constant, and I is current. Clear? So this is how we need to find out the what is that, MRR, or material removal rate. Okay. Now we also have something which is called for alloys. We may also find out material removal rate. Okay. So I'll just show you. I'll just share with you a few more facts. So this is another one formula for alloys. Okay, where you can see that MRR is equal to Q into I. Okay, where Q is the volume of alloy removed by a unit charge, and the what is that? It is represented by or the unit will be centimeter cube per ampere second. Okay, and just note down this equation for alloys. Okay, that is Q equal to 100 by rho into F into summation of xi zi by wi. Okay, and rho is nothing but equal to 100 by summation of xi by rho I. Okay, and what is xi in this case? This is the percentage by weight of each element in the alloy, and rho I is nothing but not rho I, this is pi. Okay, this is pi. So this is density, or rho, you can keep rho I also, of each element. Okay, clear? So this equation also is useful. You generally will not get any problem in your exam. Okay, problem generally won't come, but this calculation of MRR is very very important for your exam. Okay, so remember. So is there anybody who is having any doubt? Anybody, any doubt? Anybody present in the class, or you people are simply there in the meeting?
No, present, sir.
Okay. I am asking about students.
Present,
Is there any
sir.
student who is present?
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
You're present, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So have you noted down?
Yes, sir. But we didn't understand the first one, sir. Like
Uh,
before, we didn't understand the first one, sir. Like division of like electrons. NaCl is equal to Na plus plus Cl minus. That one we didn't understood, sir.
you
Properly.
didn't understand that?
No.
Actually, okay. Then one thing I'll do, I'll just share this video once again. Okay. Or else today time to will not be there much. But in the next class, once again, I'll discuss about the chemical reaction. Okay. Like what are the positive ions and how it is getting deposited. All these things I'll once again explain to you before moving towards the next classes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And right now I have got something for you. Okay. I have got something for you, and remember, in the beginning of the semester itself, I said you that unit 1, unit 2, and unit 5, these are comparatively easier units, and remaining 2 units are also easy, because here processes everything is somewhat similar. Only you will have to remember the working principle, what are the parameters which is involved in the processes. Those things you have to remember. Got the point? Okay. And like few factors, like what will be the range of suppose here how much voltage you are going to apply. I already said it should be somewhere around 2 to 20 volts. It should not be more than that, but in case of current it should be more. Okay. Now I have something for you. Okay. If it doesn't work, let's see. Okay, so you everyone, you will get some questions on your screen. Okay, so you have to click on the correct answer, then I'll show you what answers you people give. It is something like a poll or something sort of a quiz. 4 questions will be there, and for each questions you will get four options. Okay, click on the correct one.
Sir, can I attend?
Attend. It is open.
And what is the price, sir?
No price. It is free of cost.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, and there is no entry fee. That's why no prize will be distributed.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'm launching everyone. I'll just see how many of you are answering. Otherwise, I'll treat like you are absent for this class. Okay.
No, sir. Everybody will attend.
Let's see. It's in progress. I already started receiving answers. Till now, only 3 votes we got, 4 we got. I'll wait for another 2 minutes. Let's see how many of you are responding. What is your next class? Can anybody respond?
HT, sir.
HT, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next class, once again, I'll tell you the mechanics of material removal as well as the chemical reaction. Yeah, once again, I'll explain. Okay. And then we will move forward to the third unit. And as I said, that next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday, you people are going to have a test. Okay. And the assignment also by tonight, you will receive. I received only 17 answers out of 58 students. I received only 18 till now. So I'll check how many of you are really attending the class and how many of you have slept. Nice to see that many of you have given correct answers, and people have also given wrong answers, and all the answers I think I have discussed in class when one answer to just now only in today's class it was discussed. So in a few seconds I will end the this quiz. Okay, I'll give another 20 seconds, then I'm going to end this. Okay, so I'm ending. I'll check out who have not attended. So they will be marked as absent. I will request Vinod sir also to do the same. People can see that someone has written kerosene. Huh? Vinod sir, I'll share you those who have not attended this test. Please mark them absent.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, sir. So what you can see from here, NaCl is the correct answer. One student has given the kerosene. One has written deionized water and HNO3 also. But great. Then second question, you can observe like some people they have given it will depend on hardness of the work material, but I said irrespective of hardness it can remove any kind of alloys. Only condition is it should be electrically conductive in nature. And then atomic weight of the work material, okay, that have been given more votes. Thermal conductivity of work material, that also some people wrote. And ductility of work material, oh my god. So those answers also we received, but correct answer is atomic weight only, okay, which has got more votes. Then third question, steel many people have given 10. The nickel based super alloy is also 10 have given, but correct answer is Al2O3, okay, because it is non-conductive in nature, that's why it is not possible. Titanium alloy we can do now, already I said what will be the electrolyte, okay, I already discussed about it. And then the final question, fourth one, so low voltage high current, that is the correct answer, but many students they have written low current high voltage, and other answers also was given. Anyhow, so this was the test result. Hope you people will be prepared for your next class.
Sir,
And
how much mark I got, sir?
I'll tell you separately.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Ishwarya sir is online, so thank you so much. So Ishwarya sir,
Sir.
sir, you can continue the session.
Right, sir. Thank you.